Shalom. Shalom. First and foremost, call Halayim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Shalom to our apostles. Great millstone where I learned this truth. Peace salutations unto the Lord's elect. Um, so the title of this one gonna be a king suffers with his people. A king gets down and dirty in the trenches with his people. A king leads by example, and if need be, he'll die with his people. Okay. Now, when you watch these older movies, period pieces, epics, things of that nature, you have a few different kind of kings. Like sometimes you watch these movies and you'll see like the king, he won't fight with the people, but in certain the greatest kings, when you watch Braveheart or any of these older great movies, like you'll see the king fighting with you'll see the king getting down there and leading the troops. Okay, and when you look at this, truth is no different. All right, the greatest, the Lord told you, Matthew 23 and verse 11. It said, "He that is greatest amongst you shall be as your servant." All right, so our Lord, he got down and he went down there and he rolled up his sleeves and suffered as you did. He didn't shy away from it. You know, he went through exactly the same thing that you went through. So he led by example. You know, that's why the scriptures told you in Matthew 23rd chapter that the wicked scribes and Pharisees, they laid heavy burdens on man, but they themselves would not pick them up. You know, See, so real quick, Hebrews 11 and verse 23. It says, "By faith Moses, when he was born, was hid 3 months of his parents because they saw he was a proper child, and they were not afraid of the king's commandment. By faith Moses, when he was come to years of age, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of the Most High than to enjoy the pleasure of sin for a season." All right. Choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of the Most High than rather to enjoy the pleasure of sin for a season, esteeming the reproach of Yahushua greater riches than the treasures in Egypt, for he had respect unto the recompense of reward. By faith he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king, for he endured seeing him who is invisible. That's right. So, you know, Moses, and them, they could have sold out. They could have took the easy way out. Let me live a comfortable life. Nah, but they suffer with their people, man. You see, they suffer with that's why the Lord called Moses. They said he was a king in Jeshurun, Deuteronomy 33rd chapter. You know, so the moral of the story is, man, a true king gets down with his people. He leads the charge. Like Alexander the Creep, all them Edomites, man. Alexander the Creep was leading the charge, man. He was out there fighting with the people, man. He was out there fighting. He didn't send his soldiers out there to die. Y'all niggas go out there and die for me. Nah. I'm down there with y'all too. The Lord did that for us, man. Yes, he sent us out there, but he led the way. He led by example, man. And that's how the Lord's true men are, man. The Lord said, your eyes shall see your teachers. They shall not be removed to a corner anymore. Isaiah 30 and 20 on down. So your eyes shall see your teachers, man. Your eyes gonna see your teachers, and they're gonna lead you by example. You know, so because we're in spiritual warfare, right? We're in spiritual warfare. and the troops need to be led by the king. You know, the Lord's the Lord always set up leaders, right? And they lead by example. They have they're not supposed to, they tell you to do something and then they don't do it themselves. Okay, that's a terrible king. That's what Esau does. Esau's over there telling you to be loving and do this, do that, and take care of the love, equality, and all this other shit. But he don't do a goddamn thing that he preaches. He don't practice what he preach. He don't lead by example. Esau's totally opposite of what the hell he says. You know, so that's how you know he's not true. You know, okay. But just as I had did that lesson about King not debating with nobody. It was a bunch of scoffers that came up on there talking about who's this and that, blah 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 blah. This Truth of Ours is like a classic kings, man. I might do this series, of kingship, like the brother, the classic kings, the brother with Pop Muff. He got the page, um, the classic kings. This is a classic kings. Us, these scriptures, this word, and the King of Kings, right? As one of his titles is, led us by example, man. Led us by example. So Moses choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people, his people, right? The people of the Most High, than to enjoy the pleasure of sin for a season. Okay. When you look at them old wicked kings, man, niggas just sat up there and just, hey, nigga, they go out there and die. They didn't give a damn. They wouldn't put their lives on the line like you did, you know. Okay, but that's how a true king will operate. You know, he will operate in the fashion of leading his troops. You know, and if it comes down to it, he'll die with them. You know, like Leonidas, man. Leonidas was in the trenches. Leonidas went out there with the 300. He didn't just send the 300 and y'all niggas go out there and die. Nigga, yeah, I'm back here. Nah. He's out. That's how the king lead. That's how you get your troops to follow you because they're they see you out there. They're like protect the king, protect the king. You know. That's how it's supposed to be, bro. You ain't supposed to be in the back, hiding and shit. You know, that's how. That's how these wicked kings and shit of old, were the cowardly ones, and nobody really remembers their asses like that. They're remembered for being cowardly, courage the cowardly dog ass dudes. Y'all go out there and fight. Y'all go out there and do it. Y'all do it. The Lord was not like that, bro. So it says, Sirach 3 and verse 17. It says, "My son, go and have business with meekness." So like it. So thou shalt be beloved of him that is approved. It says, "The greater thou art, the more humble thyself, and thou shalt find favor before the Lord." The greater thou art, the more humble thyself, and thou shalt find greater favor before the Lord. For the power of the Lord is great, and he is honored of the lowly. Right. So the greater thou art, the more humble thyself, man. You know. So the king, the great one, the top man is supposed to be as your servant. You know. He's supposed to be as your servant. It's like yesterday I lost my voice. We beat the shit out of Bayern Munich 4-1. And it was a long time coming. It was a long time coming, It was a long time coming, And on Saturday we got to beat the shit out of Madrid too. Lord willing. Yeah, I'm gonna shed a couple of tears. I shed a couple of tears yesterday, but that shit was beautiful, man. That was a major win. Okay. Um, if you watching, bro, you in trouble. Y'all are in trouble. But anyways, moving along. Y'all boys are in trouble, boy. I tell you that much. But yeah, I kind of lost my voice screaming up there, because of the wind. But anyways, um, here it is. We're getting to if we're following the Lamb, we must lead by example. Um, You gotta practice what you preach, and you got. That's why you got. That's why the Lord told you, shine before men, to glorify the Father which is in heaven. Because they said not be hid. All right, so you're supposed to be out there setting that example for these people, for your people. All right. That's why in the kingdom they're gonna speak about your exploits because y'all was out there leading by example, shining as lights in a dark place. You know, as the kings of the earth. You know, already doing the thing before the Lord give you that crown. You know, you're already dealing as kings. You know, so here it is now. The Lord's gonna give you that kingship back in its full form. You know, because you're rehearsing those righteous acts, man. Judges 5:11. Right. So um, it says Matthew 23 and verse 10. It says, "Neither be ye called masters, for there is one. For one is your master, even your house shot. But he that's amongst you shall be as your servant. And whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased, and he that humble himself shall be exalted." Yeah. So he that is greatest amongst you shall be your servant. The king is supposed to be like a servant, man. You know, the king is supposed to serve the people. You know, because the people are not there just so your ass can use them and shit. Like Esau, Esau sits in the midst of the people. He just uses the shit out of them. You know, and tell them to kiss his ass and shit. Y'all niggas kiss my ass. You know, I'm the king, and y'all niggas can kiss my ass. Y'all are lucky y'all live in my kingdom. You know, that's Esau's way. You know, Esau, hey, y'all niggas, y'all figure y'all lives out. Here you go. Here's some scraps. Here's some scraps for y'all, man. You know, here you go. An unwise king destroy his people. That's right. Let's get that too. An unwise king destroy his people. Okay, Sirach 10 and verse start the first verse. It said, "Wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all that dwell therein. An unwise king destroyeth his people." That's you devils. All right. And but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. Yeah, through the prudence of them that's in authority, the city shall be inhabited. All right. 4 verse. The power of the earth is the hands of the Lord, and in due time he will set over one that's profitable. All right. One that leads by example. Goddamn. You know, and that starts with the elect of the Lord, you know, starting with the Lord, Yahweh himself, which he led by example, man. You know, he didn't sell out. Matthew the 4th chapter, you know, the devil came to him and he bowed to me. I give you all the kingdoms of the earth. It's, to command these stones to turn into food. You know, go ahead and do it. You know, the Lord told him out. You should not tempt the Lord your power. You know, okay. He didn't bow to him and look, let me sell out so I could get all this and stuff like that. You know, he suffered with his people. You know, he was touched with the feelings of infirmity, just like any high priest would be on the earth. And I was watching that one lesson. The elder brother had did from Mississippi. You know, we're talking about Yahushua being the priest at 30 years old. Why is that the case? Which kind of sparked this lesson here a little bit. You know, because in a matter of speaking, you know, um, which ultimately, the priesthood started around the year of the age of 30 back then. Um, but the Lord, he didn't bind heavy burdens on his disciples that he didn't himself pick up. You know, the man got down just like he commanded his servants to. You know, all right. So here it is. You got these false shepherds. You know, these irresponsible mismanagers. You know, that just they expect you to do all this work, and then that's the way of the world. They put all this work on you. They themselves, they don't do shit. They sit back and just hang. Sitting in the AC office, you out there building a house and shit. You know, and then they pick up all the profits, all the proceeds, man. You know, off the back of your labor and shit like that. That's the way of this world, man. You know, but but we have a better way. You know, we have a better way than that, than this way. You know, that they show you here, a way of usury. You know, he that is greatest amongst you shall be as your servant. All right. The Lord washed the disciples' feet. What did that show you? That he humbled himself as a servant, man. I'm like y'all. You know, that's why the Lord got that sheep, that authority, because he'll humble himself as a little child. You know, here it is. You know, he was working. You know, he lowered himself to wash the disciples' feet, man, like the woman did. You know, with her tears and her hair. You know, one of these bitches, you think they're gonna do that shit for you today? Nah, they're too proud for that, man. They're too proud for that. They're too good for that. I'm too good for that. The king himself, man. All right, the king himself, man. So unwise king destroy his people. Sirach 10:3. But through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. All right, the prudence of them which are in authority. All right. To be a king, you must have prudence. A prudent king, you know, goes out there and fights with his people, man. You know, the work is to be done. The king is the first one you know, the first one there, man. You know, that's how it's supposed to be, because that's how the rest of the people gonna follow. You know, so if the king's out there battling, what the fuck am I doing? You know, the king is up there fighting. You know, the rest of the troops, the morale will go up. You know, they see their king up there. You know, they're gonna be rallied, right? Like in the second Lord of the Rings, you know, the king of Rohan was all messed up, um, and the Rohirrim, they didn't have no leadership, man. You know, the Rohirrim didn't have no leadership, but Gandalf the Great, I think he was already Gandalf the White at that point, but Gandalf came in there and, you know, got them demons off him, and he was able to rally his troops, man. You know, and you know, he gave that rousing speech, you know, and all this, right? But you know, the Rohirrim wasn't shit without their king, you know, leading the line, man. You know, so that's of great importance. That's why the scripture say in what's that, Zephaniah the third chapter? The children of Israel shall dwell many days without a sacrifice, an ephod. No. No, it's not Zephaniah. Shall abide many days. Hosea 3, my bad. And it says, third verse says, and I said unto her, thou shalt abide for me many days, and thou shalt not play the harlot. Hosea 3:3, it says, thou shalt not be for another man, so will I also be for thee. And for the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king, without leadership, without a prince, without a sacrifice, without an image, and without an ephod, and without a teraphim, right? But after that shall the children of Israel return and seek the Lord their power and David their king, and shall fear the Lord and his goodness in the latter days, right? In the latter days, the Lord will give you back your leadership, man. As a people that was scattered, you know, with no leadership. That's why you see the men with um no sense of direction, you know, lost. Okay, because they must be led by somebody. As a flock led to the slaughter. See, the Lord told you that his people was a flock led to the slaughter because they don't have Hosea the third chapter. They don't have a sacrifice, an ephod, a king, right? To lead them by example. Now the Lord's setting up the kings. They're leading by example, you know. Okay. Not the so-called white man, because the so-called white man is a base man, you know. 2/3 of our people are just like that. They're base men. You know, they're not leaders of shit. Look at that. Look at what they're doing to the community. They're selfish. You know, a king is selfless, man. A king sacrifice for others, man. A nigga don't sacrifice for nothing except his own self. That's why the scripture speak about the fruits of the spirit, man. The fruits of the spirit are embodied by the men of the Lord, man. You know, the Lord put the spirit on these men to be leaders of the people, man. All right, in their generation. Matter of fact, let's get that. Leaders of the people, man. Kings. All right. Just like Moses. Hebrews 11:25. Choosing rather to suffer with his people, the people of God, than to suffer the pleasure of sin for a season, man. All right. It says, 2 Ezra 1 and verse 37. I take witness to the grace of the people to come, whose little ones rejoice in gladness. And though they have not seen me with bodily eyes, yet in spirit they believe the things which I say. Now, brother, behold what glory, and see the people that coming from the east, unto whom I will give for leaders, Barack Obama. It says Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Hosea, Amos, Micah, Joel, Abadias, and Jonas. No, Jay-Z, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, and Malachi, which is called also the angel of the Lord. That's right. So, all these worldly leaders, MLK, and all these other people, you know, what they have led you to the ditch. A blind lead the blind is both onto the ditch. The blind lead the blind both onto the ditch. So they have led our people into the ditch. That's why the Lord said, I'll give past according to my own heart, which shall feed you with knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Shall feed you with knowledge, wisdom, understanding, go lead by example. You know. The only example these sellouts gave you was, you know, a carnal fucking you know, run of the mill message. You know, here you go. Here, you know, be like everybody else. You know, succumb to the white man. You know, just go along and get along. You know, build America up. Vote. Work hard. You know, work hard in this devil's kingdom. And all this other bullshit. You know, you could do it. Equality. All this other crap, man. You know, that they've been feeding our people. They keep them civilized, dumbed down. You know. Okay, and controlled, because you got controlled opposition. These leaders are controlled opposition. You know, so-called leaders of the black community, the Latin community, they're all controlled. We got to control them. That's what Esau does. He controls these puppet leaders. You know, but the Lord said He set up 7,000 men that shall not bow the knee to the image of Baal. 7,000. You know, a complete number of men that would not bow the knee to the image of Baal. Okay, so it says, unto whom I will give leaders. So I just 1 and 39. Unto whom I will give for leaders Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Hosea, Amos, Micah, Joel, Abadias, and Jonas. Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, and Malachi, which is also called the angel of the Lord. That's who the Lord's setting up as the leadership, man. The spiritual leadership, man. The council of the Most High is being established by his leaders. They are leading by example, man. So that's why Esau and these other nations, you know, are scared, man, because they're seeing that, you know, the 2/3 niggas that they set up are losing. They're losing profusely. They're getting weaker and weaker. The house of Saul waxing weaker and weaker. 2 Samuel, the 3rd chapter. But the house of David waxing stronger and stronger as we speak. You know, as we speak, the house of David waxing stronger and stronger. You know, till this day. Okay, so it says Sirach 44 and verse 1. It says, now let us praise famous men and our fathers that begot us, for the Lord have wrought great glory by them through his great power. from the beginning, such as they bear rule in their kingdoms, men renowned for their power, giving counsel by their understanding, and declaring prophecies. It says, leaders of the people by their counsels, and learning meet for the people, and wise and eloquent in their instructions. Leaders of the people. There is no such thing on this side, man. Everybody is the leaders of this people have caused them to err, man. You know, and they which are led of them destroy their paths. All right. So leaders of this people by their counsels, and learning meet for the people, wise and eloquent in their instructions, such as found out musical tunes and write rejected verses in writing. Rich men furnished with ability, living peaceably in their habitations. Yeah, rich men furnished with ability to what? Lead by example. All right. It says, living peaceably in their habitations. All these were honored in their generations and were the glory of their times. There be of them that have left a name behind, that their praises might be reported. It says, and some there be which have no memorial, who are perished as though they had never been, and are become as though they had never been born, and their children after them. But these were merciful men, whose righteousness have not been forgotten. With their seed shall continually remain a good inheritance, and their children are within the covenant. Their seed stand fast, and their children for their sakes. Their seed shall remain forever, and their glory shall not be blotted out. Their bodies are buried in peace, and their name liveth forevermore. The people will tell of their wisdom, and the congregation will show their praise. Yeah. And our people, they then they'll know that a prophet's been among them. Ezekiel 33rd chapter. When it's too late, then they appreciate y'all, man. O Jerusalem, they would ye which stone us and kill us, the prophets that sent unto you, man. You always resist the Holy Spirit. Your people will appreciate you, you brothers out there. When it's too late. When it's too late, that's when they start appreciating y'all, man. They looking at you like, yeah, what the fuck? Y'all niggas ain't shit. When it's too late, that's when they appreciate you. When all hell break loose, when they ain't got shit going on, that's when they're gonna start appreciating y'all brothers out there, man. When they fear come upon them, man. Them women, be out there looking desperately for leadership, man. Okay. I'll be looking for answers. Looking desperately for answers. And they ain't gonna find no answers. Because the answers have already been given to them. But they didn't really like the answers, did they? Our people didn't really like the answers that they was given. All right. They didn't like how it was phrased to them. It was a little too harsh. It was a little too, austere. It was a little too direct. It was a little too, That's why I tell you in Isaiah the 30th chapter, man, speak onto it smooth things, prophesy deceits. All right. The Lord don't work that way, man. He's not a man that he should lie. He gotta tell the truth. He's gonna tell you everything, his way. All right, at the end of the day. And his way is not always the way you want, but let his will be done, as it is in heaven, on earth as it is in heaven. That's what the Lord's Prayer says. All right. So it says, Sirach 44 and verse 16, it says, Enoch pleased the Lord and was translated, being an example of repentance to all generations. And Noah was found perfect and righteous in the time of wrath. He was taken in exchange for the world. Therefore was he left as a remnant onto the earth when the flood came. It says, an everlasting covenant was made with him, that all flesh should perish no more by the flood. Abraham was a great father of many people, and glory was there none like unto him. Abraham was a father of many people. All right. Noah. All right. 120 years of nobody believing what he was saying, man. All right. 120 years, the man out there teaching, warning these people, look, it's gonna be a flood. It's gonna be a flood. Gonna be a flood. They're looking at him like, Noah, what the fuck is Noah talking about? This nigga Noah, who he think he is? Who does nigga Noah think he is? You think the Most High is dealing with him? You know, But Noah was out there, giving these people warnings, hope. You know, it don't matter. Right? Until it was too late. They was looking for Noah beating down his door, man. But the Lord sealed that door up on their asses, man. The Most High sealed that door on these dudes, man. These guys, coming and seeking Noah after it was too damn late. You should have got it while you could, man. Seek the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he's near. So you should have got it when it was time. You should have came to Noah, when you had the chance. But the Lord, he blinded them and hardened their hearts, as in the provocation, man. As it says in Psalms the 95th chapter, man. It says, harden not your hearts, as in the provocation. All right. When your fathers tempted me in the wilderness and proved me, they provoked me and saw my work. You seen what happened when the Lord gets played with, man. The Lord gets played with, and here it is, bam. You find out. All right. So Noah, Sirach 44:17, Noah was found perfect and righteous in the time of wrath, for he was taken in exchange for the world. Therefore was he left as a remnant onto the earth when the flood came. Noah and his sons and the wives. All right. An everlasting covenant was made with him. An everlasting covenant was made with him that all flesh should perish no more by the flood. Abraham was a great father of many people, and glory was there none like unto him, who kept the law of the Most High and was in covenant with him. He established the covenant in his flesh, and when he was proved, he was found faithful. Therefore, he assured him by an oath that he would bless the nations in his seed, and that he would multiply him as the dust of the earth, and exalt his seed as the stars, and cause them to inherit from sea to sea, and from the river unto the uttermost part of the land. With Isaac did he establish likewise for Abraham his father's sake the blessing of all men and the covenant, and made it rest upon the head of Jacob. And he acknowledged him and his blessing, and gave him the heritage, and divided his portions among the 12 tribes of Israel did he part them. All right. So, the Lord set Jacob, Abraham, Isaac, all these men as leaders, right? The people, Enoch, Noah, all right. And they led by example. They was telling they was out there in the forefront, okay, as leaders of the people, wise by their counsels, and learning meet for the people, wise and eloquent in their instructions. Sirach 44:4. All right. So the earth is in need of new rulership, new leadership, and starting with the spiritual. All right. 1 Corinthians 2:15. It says what? That the spiritual man judges all things, that he himself is judge of no man. Right. The spiritual man is judging all things, man. All right. And that's what the Lord is putting in their spirit to do. So that's why they're out there. That's why the Lord sent them out there to judge the earth, to judge the heathen, to judge his own people, to judge themselves first and foremost, but then also judge the people, judge the creation, because that's what the 144,000 was set up to do, to judge the Lord's creation, to govern the Lord's creation, Okay, so it says Matthew 15 and verse 14, it says, let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, they shall both fall into the ditch. The Lord, he came and set up his 12. All right. He set up his 12. He set up his the 70. He set up leaders, not blind leaders. All right. That will lead the people into the ditch, but men of vision, visionaries. All right. As the scriptures say, he that was before time called prophet was now called a seer. Was before he that is now called a prophet before time called a seer. Said, let us go to the seer. All right, where there's no vision, the people fail. So the Lord is giving men vision in order to lead the people. Okay, Isaiah 9:16. It says, for the leaders, actually 14 verse. Therefore the Lord will cut off from Israel head and tail, branch and rest in one day. The ancient and honorable, he is the head. Ezekiel 9:4, the man that was before the house, right? The ancient honorable, he is the head, and the prophet that teach lies, he is the tail. All right. For the leaders of this people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed. Therefore, the Lord shall not have joy in their young men, neither have mercy on their fathers, fatherless and widows. For everyone is a hypocrite and an evildoer, and every mouth speak folly. For all this, his anger is not turned away, but his hand stretched out still. How is the Lord's hand stretched out still? He still got uh the word out there. It's not a famine of the word yet. You know, still get the word. You still get uh the more door of mercy open, because you still got the gospel being preached. You know, as it stands right now. But pretty soon, them doors gonna shut on these people, and they're gonna be led by the blind into taking that microchip. They're gonna be led blind into the beast's arms, into the belly of the beast. You know, because they're gonna follow these rappers, these entertainers, these church people. They're gonna be following after blind leaders, because they themselves are blind, because the Lord blinded them to this truth. Okay, because everybody's being used on the left hand side or the right, we're all vessels. You know, so you got the false shepherds on the left that's gonna lead the undesirables to their ultimate demise, because the Lord said what? That the multitude that was born in vain, let them perish. All right. And in Exodus the 23rd chapter, it speaks about following the multitude to do evil, you know. So the multitudes are being led by these evil leaders, you know, and they're following these evil leaders into the grave, into the ditch, you know, which they themselves, you know, they don't give a fuck what happens to you. They don't care what happens to you. They all right, niggas died, all right, cool, whatever. You know, they don't care, because their flock is not their own. A hireling cares not for the flock, right? For the flock is not his own. The flock is not his own, man. All right. But the true shepherds, you know, they give their life for the flock. All right. Matter of fact, let's get that. John the 10th chapter. Yeah, John the 10th chapter. And verse 1, it says, Verily, verily, I say unto you, that he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same as a thief and a robber. But he that entereth in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep. To him the porter openeth, and the sheep heareth his voice. He calleth his own by name and leadeth them out. It says, and when he putteth forth his own sheep, he goeth before them, and the sheep follow him, before they know his voice. Right? It says, 1 Corinthians 11:1, be followers of me, as even as I am also a follower of Yahushua. Right? That's the Apostle Paul speaking, right? So it said, John 10:4, and when he putteth forth his own sheep, he goeth before them, and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice. And a stranger will they not follow, but will flee from him, for they know not the voice of strangers. It says, this parable spake Yahushua unto them, but they understood not what things they were which he spake unto them. Then said Yahushua unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep. All that ever came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear them. I am the door. By me, if any man will enter in, he shall be saved, and shall go in and find pasture. The thief cometh not for to kill and to steal and to destroy. I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly. The thief being this damn devil, so-called white man. You know, all you other niggas that are of your father devil, John 8:44, you're also thieves and robbers. You know, 11 verse. It says, I'm the good shepherd. The good shepherd giving his life for the sheep. The good shepherd giving his life for the sheep. The good shepherd, the King of Kings, gave his life for the sheep, led by example. You know, he led by example. Here you go. You might have to die for this thing. Hate your life, not even on to the death. Right? Love not your life even on to the death. The Lord did it by example. The Lord showed you, you know, firsthand. You know, He spoke it and He lived it. All right. He didn't bear. He didn't put on you more than you could bear. He didn't give you more than what He did Himself. All right. So that's the thing. That's the thing, man. In this world, these people, they tell you do one thing and they do the fucking opposite. They themselves will not pick it up. You know. All right. They themselves won't pick up that burden as the Lord did. The Lord picked up the burden, man. It says, he that is a hireling and not the shepherd, whose own the sheep are not, seeth the wolf coming and leaveth the sheep and fleeth. All right. And the wolf catcheth them and scattereth the sheep. The hireling fleeth because he is a hireling and careth not for the sheep. That's right. So here it is. Here it is. You have men call themselves protect the sheep and warns this and that, and they left the sheep. They left the sheep behind, man, because they're hirelings. All right. They weren't the real ones. All right. Leave the sheep behind so you can go build compounds in Jacob's trouble so you can go back to the world so you could disappear and shit like that. You're not a true shepherd, man. So it says the hireling fleeth because he is a hireling and careth not for the sheep. I am the good shepherd and known of mine, and I'm known of mine. Even as the Father knoweth me, even so I the Father, and I laid down my life for the sheep. All right, that's what a king do, man. He got all these people dying for him, but he ain't willing to die for the people. You see? And other sheep I have which are not of this fold. Then that I must bring, and they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd, man. Therefore doeth my Father love me, because I laid down my life that I might take it again. Yeah, because that's how it works, man. You lay down your life, the Lord gonna let you take it again. The Lord laid down his life, and the Lord was raised after the third day. So that's in Hosea 6:2. And the third day, the Lord's gonna revive us as well, because we've given our lives for the Lord and his inheritance, which ultimately the Lord's gonna let us pick it back up again. See that? Therefore, my Father do love me, because I laid down my life that I might take it again. John 10:17. No man taketh it from me, but I lay it down of myself. If I have power to lay it down, I have power to take it again. This commandment I have received of my Father. All right. So there you go. All right. So 1 Corinthians 11:1. To be followers of me, even as I'm a follower of Yahushua. Now I praise you, brethren, that you remember me in all things and keep the ordinances as I have delivered them unto you. And I have you know that the head of every man is Yahushua, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Yahushua is the Most High. Yes. So that's why another reason why a man has to be the one that does the leadership, not a woman. Yeah, she up there. I seen this one video of her up, some chick up, out there teaching, talking about screaming at the top of her lungs and stuff like that. You're not the king, man. Okay, you're not the prophet. You're not the one that's going to lay down the life for their sheep. If something happens and shit like that, you're not going to be the one out there in the forefront. Uh, 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 you're not gonna be the one taking that bullet from Esau, man. You're not gonna be the one in the guillotine with your head there. You're gonna fold and cry, because that's not your role, man. When shit gets real, the king got to step in, man. When shit gets real, you got to call the champion to fight the other champion. They didn't call Elizabeth. They didn't call her. They called the king. They called the gladiator, man. They called David to go fight Goliath, man. Okay. So that's why the David was ready to die about his people, you know, just like Yahweh Shai, man. All right. So that's why the house of David being established. Those men that's leaders of that people, man. Sirach 44:4, right? As we read earlier. So a king lead by example, man. He that is greatest amongst you shall be as your servant, man. All right. Heavy burdens. As a matter of fact, let me get that. Bind heavy burdens. Because I was supposed to read that earlier, but bind, I think it's spelled differently. Yeah, Matthew 23 and verse I'm starting the first verse. Then spake Yahushua to the multitudes and to his disciples, saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. All therefore whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do, but do not after their works, what they say and do not. For they bind heavy burdens on men, grievous to be borne, and they lay them on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move them with one finger. But all their works they do to be seen of men. Yeah, look at that. So I sent this guy out there. I sent him to do this. I did this. I did that. But you yourself would not do it, man. That makes you a false shepherd, man. You know, makes you a false leader. They themselves will not move with one finger. Go out there and die, nigga. You go out there and die for the king. You know, for your king, your feudal lord. You know, pay your tribute to your lord. And what is he doing for you? See, the government. The word government means mind control, right? But the government is not just there to fucking use their citizens like Esau does. Use them, tax them, and then turn around and expect the citizens to just be like, yeah, yeah. That's why everybody hates the fucking white man government. Everybody hates this damn devil. They're just scared. Esau got the sword, so but they're not happily willing to serve this devil. In the kingdom of heaven, the scripture tell you, Proverbs 29, and I think that's 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. So the people are going to be happy to serve us, man, because we're going to treat them well, man. And they ain't going to be fucking looking at us like, yeah, here we go. We got to go up and keep the Feast of Tabernacles. These niggas are assholes, We got to, nah, man, They're going to love to serve, man. Yes, we're going to kick their ass, but that's a righteous thing because they need to be recompensed. But at the end of the day, we're going to treat them well, man. We're going to treat these people well. So these people are going to be well fed, well educated, well taken care of, no wars around them. So they're going to be in an environment where they're going, whatever is asked of them, they're going to do so willingly. They're going to have a smile on their face. They're going to rejoice to serve their new leadership, their new government, because of the fact that it's a prudent government. Pursuing this Sirach 10. Through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city is established. The prudence of these men, is gonna make it to where the people are gonna be like, the women are gonna be willfully giving themselves to you, but they're gonna see a righteous man, righteous fathers. They ain't gonna see no nigga up there. Okay, they're gonna see righteousness, so they're gonna be willing. And what did it say in Psalms 110:3? Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power. All right. From the dew of thy morning that has from the beauty of the morning has the dew of thy youth. Right. So Matthew 23 and verse 5 it says, all their works they do to be seen of men, they make broad their phylacteries and enlarge the border of their garments, and love the uppermost room at feasts, and the chief seats in the synagogues, and greeting in the markets be called men, rabbi, but be not called rabbi, for one is your master, even Yahushua, and all ye are brethren. You're all brethren. And call no man your father upon the earth, for one is your father which is in heaven. Neither be ye called masters, for one is your master, even Yahushua. But he that's greatest amongst you shall be as your servant. And whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased. And he that humble himself shall be exalted. But woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye shut up the kingdom of heaven against men. For ye yourselves go in, neither go ye in yourselves, neither suffer ye them that are entering to go in. Okay. So at the end of the day, you've been given that's why in Micah the 3rd chapter, the Lord cursed out the heads, because the heads judge for reward, they judge for themselves, the heads of Israel, that is. All right. And that's why you've been going into slavery so many times, because this is the Lord's inheritance. And you're mismanaging the Lord's inheritance, man. You're over there judging them falsely, up there with respect to persons, up there with false balances and judgment, all kind of shit that goes on. That's why you constantly been going into slavery. All right, constantly, because your leadership has been poor as Judah. Benji, leave it all. Read Jeremiah 44th chapter. It says, "Have you forgotten the wickedness of the kings of Judah?" All right. Why? Because our very heads have been going off. That's why the Lord put you in captivity. Okay, many times. Now the Lord is giving you back your true leadership, starting with the house of David. All right. Okay, so the Lord told you, woe to you that sit in Moses' seat. Because if you're sitting in Moses' seat, you better be sitting the right way. You better be setting the right example. You know, it's not all about just being up there, being the head and shit. Look at all the people just praising me and shit like that. What kind of motherfucking example are you setting for them? What kind of are you willing to get down there and dirty with them? Just like you were commanding them to do. Are you willing to die like like your Lord was? You know, as he was. If you're not willing to die, then you can't be no king, man. You can't be no king sitting up there in rulership position. If you can't die for the people, then your ass ain't ready to be no ruler, man. Cause that's what it takes, bro. What as the song says, man, I gotta pay the cost to be the boss. Well, I guess I gotta pay, like Lil Weezy said. Weezy F baby. You gotta pay the cost, man. You wanna call the shots and be the boss, right? Well, you're gonna have to take the responsibility of the flock of your people, man. Okay, that's why Esau's the fucking devil, because he uses the shit out of his own people, man. He don't give a damn if he got to kill you, you Negro Latinos. He don't give a damn. If he wants to get to you, he'll kill his own people. He'll string them out on fentanyl and drugs, all kinds to get to you. That's how demonic he is. He don't give a fuck. He's like, yeah, whatever, nigga. I'm in power. Fuck everybody else. That's why he's not a worthy ruler. That's why the Lord's gonna strike his ass from the record books. You know. So Sirach 32 and 1. It says, if thou be made master of the feast, lift not up thyself, but be among them as one of the rest. Take diligent care for them, and so sit down. Hold on, take diligent care. The Lord told you to have give audience know the state of thy flocks. That's why a lot of candlesticks have been blown out, because you're not managing the flock the right way, man. Okay, you gotta manage the flock the right way. You gotta care for the people, man. You gotta give a fuck, bro. You do. You can't just be a cold-hearted asshole, bro. And there, brothers come up there and you just like, fuck you, nigga. What the fuck are you doing here, bro? What the fuck are you doing here, nigga? You ain't right, nigga. What kind of attitude is that, bro? Okay, what kind of attitude is that? I've seen it myself, bro. I've been there. I've done that, man. I seen it. I'm like, bro, what the fuck is going on, bro? I thought you were supposed to care for me. You as a individual who's in a position, you supposed to give a fuck about me, bro. Man, get the fuck up out of here, nigga. I'm just get out of here. Get out of here, nigga. You ain't shit. That's not an attitude to have, bro. It's not an attitude to have. That's why we went under the curses so many times. That's why we're still under the curse. Because Jake gets a little position. Here it is. He's looking at you like he's like, you ain't shit, bro. That's not the spirit of the Lord, man. That's not the spirit of the Lord, bro. You can have the doctrine and everything, and you might have the praise of men, but the Lord is looking at you, man. The Lord is looking at your spirit and shit. How you dealing with the Lord's inheritance? Man, nah, this is not right, bro. This is not right, because the Lord told you to love each other, man. Have some type of natural affection for each other, goddamn. But here comes a man just like you, right? I mean, you over there looking at him as a threat. Oh, this nigga's a threat. He's proud. Nigga, no, you're proud, bro. Why don't you check yourself, man? That's why the Lord fucked us up so many times, because here it is. You given a position, you given some power, and you don't know how to use it. You don't know how to apply it. You know what I mean? You don't give a damn. You're supposed to give a damn about your people, bro. The scripture speak about in the latter days, men shall be lovers of their own self, without natural affection, with truce breakers, without any not ready to any agreement. You gotta be ready to agree, man. All right. Anyways, whatever. So the second verse, it says, Sirach 32 and 2. When thou hast done all thy office, take thy place with them, that thou mayest be merry with them, and receive a crown for the well-ordined feast. That when the Lord comes back and he see you managing his people the right way, man. Hey, look, I'm gonna increase this man right here. I'm gonna increase this brother right here, man. Brother been humble. He been doing his thing. I seen him die for I seen him die for the people. I brought him back to life, or whatever the case may be. I seen him out there laboring, giving up his time, and giving up his youth. The scripture tell you, seek out the Creator in the days of youth. While the evil days draw nigh, here it is. He could be doing anything else, but he was over there sacrificing for me and my word and his people, man. So what do you think the Lord's going to do? He's a righteous judge, man. He's gonna reward such a one, man, such as them. He's gonna say, "Look, I'm gonna make you king over. I'll make you 10 cities." That's what the scripture tell you. I'll make you ruler over 5, 10. However it goes, because the Lord's looking at your spirit, man. And he's seeing, he's judging you. Okay, look, this man's worthy to be increased. As he did with Solomon. Solomon was asking for wisdom. The Lord increased and gave him everything else. All right. Okay, so it says, Sirach 32 and verse 2, it says that thou mayest take thy place, and that thou mayest be merry with them and receive a crown for the well ordering of thy feet. Speak thou that art the elder, for it becometh thee, but with sound judgment, and hinder not music. Pour not out words where there is a musician, and show not forth wisdom out of time. A consort of music in a banquet is a signet of carbuncle and gold, set in gold, right? But the point right here is in the first and second verse, right? All right. When thou hast done all thy offers, take thy place, that thou mayest be married with them. If you be made a master of the feast, lift not up thyself, but be among them as one of the rest, and take diligent care of them. So sit down. All right. Give all diligence to know the estate of thy flocks. All right. What's going on with this so-and-so? How you doing, bro? You all right, man? How you been? I know you've been through a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Blah, 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 blah. You're supposed to give a damn, goddamn. Give a brother a call once in a while, man. What's going on with you? How you feeling, bro? Y'all, you good? I seen you kind of slacking, blah, blah, blah. Whatever, man. You're supposed to give a damn. That's the whole thing. You're supposed to give a damn. All right, that's what happens in this world. A nigga don't give a damn about you. Your managers and all these people don't give a damn. You come into work, nigga. Come into work, nigga. You better work. And if your house is burning down, nigga, you might get fired at the same day, nigga. That's what the white woman told me. The other day, the bitch was like, I don't give a, I mean, she didn't say that like that, but then she kind of apologized later. But during the moment, the bitch was like, I was like, yo, there's a fire going on in my house, blah, 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 this and that. She was like, you could still get fired the same day. I'm like, yo, this is why this place is going to go down. This is why I didn't take it personally, because I know that's the devil, but it is what it is, That's why these devils ain't going to rule. Okay, Proverbs 27:3. They don't have any natural affection, man. They don't give a fuck. All they care about is their money. And the Lord is not like that, man. All right. The Lord, all he cares about is not his fucking money. He don't care about his money. When he came on the scene, he wasn't talking about money, man. He wasn't talking about business and bottom line, this and that. No, he was talking about the Lord's business, man. All right. So Proverbs 27 and verse 23. Be thou diligent to know the state of thy flocks, and look well to thy herds. For riches are not forever, and doth the crown endure to every generation? Right. Riches are not forever. All right. But the word of the Lord, the counsel of the Lord will stand forever. And the Lord said, be diligent to know the state of thy flocks, and look well to thy herds. So a king look well to the herds, man. Okay. The Lord is giving you these people as an inheritance, man. These daughters, these sons, these children, man. They're your inheritance, man. These people, they're your inheritance, man. The Lord's getting ready to have us inherit the whole earth, but it starts amongst ourselves in the faith, first and foremost. The little things that matter. Why did the Lord say, "Be not ignorant of a small thing and a great thing"? Because you judge all things. The Lord's having you judge. That's in the Sirach 5:15, right? You here it is. You judging major matters and also small matters. You can't be ignorant to a little matter or a great. Like here it is. I was going to do a video on this one guy, this one brother. I didn't really want to do it, but because it's going to be a whole thing. But the man got lineups every day. Every time I see him, a bunch of subscribers too. I ain't gonna name his name or whatever the case may be. But I had to make a business decision. I'm like, is it worth embarrassing the man? Nah, maybe I should just talk to him. I still probably won't even say anything. But sometimes you got to make business decisions. Sometimes you gotta you gotta weigh the pros and the cons, man. Is this really, even though it was a small matter, it's still a thing that must be addressed. But still, anyways, these are small matters, right? Somebody having a lineup, somebody having, somebody going out there with fades, and not. But those are small matters, right? Now there's major matters that we deal with, but we can't be ignorant in a small matter or great, because the Lord is very detail oriented, man, and meticulous, if you will, But But anywho, we gotta get this thing right. That's the whole thing. All right. What did I say I was gonna read? Um, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, it's all about leading by example, bro. All right. Like you're seeing the apostles do for us. The apostle had led by example for 30 some years. That's why the Lord's gonna give them the crown for the well earning of the feast. At the end of the day, Lord, one day endure, because we all gotta endure. Just as we do, they do as well. Because we're all in the same faith. Even though they've been there before you. If you don't endure to the end, then that's a that all your work has been for nothing. But they've shown us how to endure to the end, man. How to keep going after many things, persecutions, trials and shit. Age, you know, and things of that nature. So the Lord set them up as examples, man. You know, as examples to this day, and they're very much like you. You know, they're very much like you. Okay. It says First Corinthians 10 and verse 6. Now these things were our examples, to the intent that we should not lust after evil things, as they also lusted. Neither be ye idolaters, as were some of them. As it is written, the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play. Neither let us commit fornication, as some of them committed and fell in one day 23,000. Neither let us tempt the Lord, Yahushua, as some of them tempted him and were destroyed of serpents. All right. All these things were set as examples to us. Right. And just you have left hand side examples, then you got right hand side examples. All the things bring 4 times bring for you to learn. That through patience and faith and comfort of scripture may have hope. Right. So the Most High is setting up examples for our learning and our for us to follow. And then ultimately you become an example yourself. All right. And that's what the Lord is doing. You know. So you must humble yourself as a little child, you know, as the Lord set us this example, in order for the Lord to lift you up in that time. So a king has to humble himself and get down and dirty with the people, just like Moses did. Hebrews 11:25, setting an example of servitude, man. A king serves as much as the people serve him. Okay. And that's how the king leads, man, by example, bro. All right. Um oh yeah. Now I remember. He washed the disciples' feet. See, that was the Lord dealing with um that was the Lord dealing with leadership, right? When he washed the disciples' feet. Let me read that real quick. John 13 and verse 5. It says, after that, he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet and wipe them with the towel wherewith he was girded. Then coming he to Simon Peter and saith unto him, Lord, why doest thou wash my feet? And Yahushua answered and said unto him, what I do thou knowest not, but thou shalt know hereafter. And Peter said unto him, thou shalt never wash my feet. Yahushua answered, if I wash thee not, thou hast no part with me. Simon Peter said unto him, Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head. And Yahushua said to him, he that is washed needeth not to save his feet, but is clean every whit, but ye are clean, but not all. For he knew who should betray him, therefore he said, ye are not all clean. So after he had washed their feet and had taken his garments and was sat down again, he said unto them, know ye what I have done to you? Ye call me master and Lord, and ye say, well, for so am I. If I then, your Lord and master, have washed your feet, ye ought to wash one another's feet. Okay. Yeah, you call me Lord, you call me master, you say that I'm your Lord, right? You seen what I just did for y'all, right? Why can't y'all be the same way? Why are you dealing with this pride and shit? Oh no, I'm this, I'm that, I got this title, and I'm this exalted guy, and I've been in this thing for so long, and blah 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 blah. But you can't wash the disciples' feet, man. As the Lord said, right? So the Lord told you, Peter, look, you're none of mine. If you don't wash the disciples' feet, bro, you're none of mine, man. If you don't let me wash your feet, you're not humble. You're not being humble, bro. You're being fucking proud, man. You're acting like an asshole, man. You know, so you're not in mine. So he said, "Look, I'm gonna wash my hand in my head in my head. This was the king. This is Peter, the king, right? If I then, your Lord and Master, have washed your feet, how also ought ye also ought to wash one another's feet? For I have given you an example. The leader leads by example, right? That ye should do as I have done to you. Verily, verily, I say unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord, neither is he that sent greater than he that sent him. If you know these things, happy are ye if you do them." All right. So let me get the account of the woman too. So the woman washed the disciples' feet. Yeah, yeah. Luke the 7th chapter. Yeah, Luke 7 and verse 36. And one of the Pharisees desired him that he would eat with him, and he went to the Pharisee's house and sat down to meat. And behold, a woman in the city which was a sinner, when she knew that Yahushua sat at meat in the Pharisee's house, she brought an alabaster box of ointment and stood at his feet behind him, weeping, and began to wash his feet with tears, and did wipe them with the hairs of her head, and kissed his feet, and anointed them with ointment. Psalms, the 2nd chapter, right? Kiss the son, lest he be angry. It says, now when the Pharisee which had bidden him saw it, he spake within himself, saying, this man, if he were a prophet, would have known who and what manner of woman is he that toucheth him, for she's a sinner. Yeah, yeah. If this guy was a prophet right here, then he wouldn't let no sinner touch his feet. The Lord came for sinners and publicans, man. All right. But see, this guy was speaking as a foolish man, speaking out of turn, not spiritually discerning the matter, right? It says, and Yahushua answering him said unto him, Simon, I have somewhat to say unto thee. And he saith, Master, say on. There was a certain creditor which had two debtors. The one had 500 pence, the other 50. And when they had nothing to pay, he frankly forgave them both. Tell me therefore, which of them will he love the most? Then Simon answered and said, I suppose that he to whom he forgave most. And he said, thou hast judged right. And he turned to the woman and said, Simon, Simon, seest this woman? Look at this woman right here. I entered into thy house, and thou gavest me no water for my feet, but she washed my feet with her tears and wiped them with the hairs of her head. Thou gavest me no kiss, but this woman, since the time I came in, has not ceased to kiss my feet. Mine head with oil thou didst not anoint, but this woman anointed my feet with oil, or ointment, I said. Wherefore I say unto thee, her sins, which are many, are forgiven, for she loved much. But to whom little is forgiven, the same loveth little. And he said unto her, thy sins are forgiven. And they that sat at meat with him began to say within themselves, who is he that forgiveth sins also? But he said unto the woman, thy faith have saved thee, go in peace. Right. So the Lord came to give you many lessons, man. All right. The Lord came to give you many instructions. The Lord came to set but the example, man, for you, man. As a good king, man, would do. Led the line, died for you. Okay. He showed himself to be a true leader, you know, not of this realm. All right. Because a nigga of this realm, he's a greedy bastard. All the kings of this on this side, for the most part, was all carnal, for themselves and shit like that. They wasn't for the people. All right. All right. They wasn't for the people. But our high priest, our Lord, that was touched with the feeling of infirmities, suffer as we was in all points. All right. He suffered as we was in all points, man. So Hebrews 4 and verse 14 says, seeing that we have a great high priest that is passed into the heavens, Yahushua, the Son of the Most High, let us hold fast our profession. For we have not a high priest which cannot be touched with the feelings of infirmities, right? Because the Lord, he did the same thing. He went through the same thing you did. But was in all points tempted like as we are, yet without sin. The king got down in the trenches and rolled up his sleeves like you did. All right. He went out there, y'all out there teaching. He went out there teaching. His life was on the line. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like, I just told you to go do something that I didn't do. It says, let us for we have not a high priest which cannot be touched with the feelings of infirmities, but was in all points tempted like as we are, but yet without sin. Let us therefore come boldly onto the throne of grace that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. All right. So the seeing that we have a great high priest that's passed into the heavens, Yahushua, the Son of the Most High, let's hold fast our profession. But for the Lord, he went through the same things we went through, and he got through them. So the Lord gave us this mind of His, 1 Corinthians 2:16, not the mind of the world, so that we may be able to endure it as He did. And He didn't lay something that was too hard for us. He gave you exactly what you can handle. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to touch on that real quick, man. Through spirit, call him like Howard, Bashim El Shah, Bashim Rakakwadash, the ones to our apostles, teachers, our leaders. All right. If he said taste to the elect, man. King leads by example, brother. All right, show him.